there.
for me. Okay, so Frank, we're going to be recording Mary now. Okay? And you can just stay there if you want and just enjoy it. Okay, Josh, you ready? We're rolling. Mary, tell us about let me start over, my fault. Mary, tell us about the depot in our historic site here.
Right, you're in the renovated or rehabilitated 1909 depot building that the Milwaukee built in 1909. Oops, sorry, you'll have to edit. You'll have to edit that. Yeah.
We'll start over here. I know. I did 2 sentences and I took 4 cuts.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
In 1909, the Milwaukee Railroad built this.
I stepped on you, so let's start over one more time.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll start with the question.
Okay.
Mary, tell us about this depot.
Well, this depot came about in 1909 when the Milwaukee Railroad was doing its western expansion. They actually started construction a little earlier, but it was finished in 1909. And this is a historical photo of the rail yard. Here's the depot over here.
That's where we are now.
That's where we are standing right now. And everything behind us here is this rail yard. So it was functioning as a passenger and freight until 1961. And then they stopped passenger and it was freight only from then until the end of operations in 1980. So the depot served the community and the railroad, of course. This part of it was the waiting room. This was the ladies' waiting room. And then there was the station agent's office around the corner here. And then the west end of the building was more or less for the men and trainmen. So the conductors would get their orders and the engineers would get their orders from the agent that was in the office over here. Then it stopped being passenger service in 1961 and just then became, still the restaurant was opening, so the community could come in, and that's in the middle of the building here. So mostly the trainmen here until 1980 when the operations stopped. And then it sat for a long time until, in the meantime, Washington State Parks was buying up the right-of-way, and it became John Wayne Pioneer Trail, and then it became Iron Horse State Park, and then its name now is Palusta Cascades Trail State Park. So during about 1999, a group of volunteers decided that this building was savable and fundraised and got enough money to assess the building. And it was determined that it had good bones and was savable, even though it looked pretty shabby. And so in 1999, they started the rehab of this building. And it took about 6 construction seasons. And in July of 2006, it reopened as the renovated and rehabilitated depot building. So this part, we kind of start here telling the story. Washington State Parks did a wonderful job in the story panels, and we work our way around here. We've got display cases and brochures and both railroad and local South Cle-Elum history. In the day, people could actually send telegrams. They'd come up to this counter, and the station agent telegrapher would send the telegram. And also, then the trainmen, this was kind of their end of the building, the trainmen would get their orders from this cage here. So when we did the rehab, we wanted to, we had a very strong model railroad component for the volunteers, and they put together, this is the Renslow trestle display, and they put together this replication of the trestle that goes over the top of I-90, just east of Ellensburg. And so they put this together, and then we made use of the display base and have lots of smaller railroad items in these drawers here for visitors to look at. So the story kind of continues. We're talking about people that were influential. These are some railroad retirees that are local, and they and many others were very helpful in all of the rehab fundraising that we had to do in those 7 construction seasons to get the building opened in 2006. And it's been a visitor center, interpretive center ever since, in cooperation between Cascade Rail Foundation and, of course, Washington State Parks.